Life wasn't easy in my 20s. I often found myself overwhelmed by the pressures of adulthood, feeling like I was constantly falling short of expectations. I felt lost, insecure, and desperate for change. Every day seemed like a struggle, and I yearned for a sense of direction and purpose. That's when I stumbled upon the world of self-help. It was like discovering a hidden treasure trove of wisdom and guidance. Books, blogs, podcasts, they all promised a roadmap to a better, happier me. Each source seemed to offer a unique perspective on how to transform my life. I devoured every bit of advice, every inspirational quote, every success story. I became a sponge, absorbing all the knowledge I could find. It felt empowering, like I finally had the tools to fix myself and create the life I always dreamed of. The idea that I could take control of my destiny was exhilarating. I was initially drawn to the simplicity of it all. The steps seemed clear and straightforward, promising a direct path to self-improvement. Identify your flaws, change your mindset, attract your desires. It was a formula that seemed almost too good to be true. It seemed so logical, so achievable. I was convinced that with enough dedication and effort, I could transform my life completely. I truly believed that if I just followed the steps laid out by these self-proclaimed experts, I would finally unlock my full potential and achieve lasting happiness. The promise of a better me was within reach. Looking back, it's clear how naive I was, how easily I fell for the seductive promises of a quick fix. The journey to self-improvement is far more complex and nuanced than any book or podcast can convey. The initial rush of self-help was intoxicating. I started small, practicing gratitude, using positive affirmations, visualizing my goals, and to my surprise, some things did improve. I felt more motivated, more confident, more in control of my life. These small wins, however, were just enough to keep me hooked, to convince me that I was on the right path. What I didn't realize then was that I was merely experiencing the placebo effect of self-help. The real problems, the deep-seated insecurities and fears, remained unaddressed. I was slapping band-aids on gaping wounds, convinced that I was healing myself when I was merely masking the pain. As I delved deeper into the self-help world, I encountered a dizzying array of gurus, each peddling their own brand of transformation. There were law of attraction experts promising to manifest my dream life, relationship coaches guaranteeing to find my soulmate, and mindset mentors claiming to rewire my brain for success. I attended webinars, enrolled in online courses, even invested in expensive retreats. Each new guru, each new technique felt like the answer I had been searching for. Yet, despite religiously following their advice, the promised transformations never materialized. My life remained largely unchanged, and the nagging feeling of inadequacy persisted. I was trapped in a cycle of seeking external validation, constantly chasing the next quick fix, the next magical solution. The more I invested in self-help, the worse I felt about myself. Every time I failed to achieve the desired outcome, every time I slipped back into old patterns, I blamed myself. I wasn't trying hard enough, I wasn't positive enough, I wasn't worthy enough. The self-help rhetoric, which initially felt empowering, had turned into a weapon of self-sabotage. Instead of promoting self-acceptance and compassion, the self-help culture I had immersed myself in fostered a toxic cycle of self-criticism and blame. It created unrealistic expectations and then punished me for failing to meet them. I was so busy trying to become the ideal me that I lost sight of who I truly was and what truly mattered. Section 5. When self-help became an obsession. What started as a quest for self-improvement morphed into an unhealthy obsession. I spent hours each day consuming self-help content, neglecting my relationships, my work, and even my own well-being. My entire life revolved around the pursuit of self-optimization. But the irony was that I had never felt more lost and unhappy. I was so caught up in the self-help bubble that I failed to see the damage it was inflicting on my life. I was isolating myself from loved ones, pushing away genuine connection in favor of superficial self-improvement. The pursuit of a better me had become a gilded cage, trapping me in a cycle of striving and never arriving. Section 6. Ignoring real problems, chasing quick fixes. One of the most insidious aspects of self-help culture is its tendency to oversimplify complex issues and offer simplistic solutions. I was encouraged to manifest my way out of financial struggles, to positive think my way out of health problems, to visualize my way to a fulfilling relationship. This constant focus on quick fixes prevented me from addressing the root causes of my problems. I ignored warning signs, brushed aside legitimate concerns, and convinced myself that I could simply think my way out of any situation. This denial only exacerbated my problems, leading to greater hardship and disillusionment. Section 7. The financial drain of constant improvement. The self-help industry is a multi-billion-dollar machine, and I was a willing participant in its money-making scheme. It promises transformation, a better version of yourself, and a life filled with success and happiness. I spent thousands of dollars on books, courses, workshops, and coaching programs. Each purchase felt like a step closer to the ideal version of myself that I was chasing. I attended numerous workshops and signed up for various coaching programs, all in the pursuit of a better me. The allure of self-improvement was irresistible. The more I spent, the more trapped I felt, as if I had to keep investing to justify the initial outlay. It was a never-ending cycle of spending and seeking. It's easy to get sucked into the self-help vortex, constantly bombarded with messages that you need to invest in yourself. Every email, every social media ad, every motivational quote seemed to scream that I wasn't enough as I was. They tell you that you're just one purchase away from unlocking your full potential. The promise of a better life was always just one more book, one more course away. The financial strain only added to my stress and anxiety, creating a vicious cycle of seeking solace in the very thing that was contributing to my problems. The more I invested, the more I felt the weight of financial burden, and the more I sought out new solutions, hoping for a breakthrough that never seemed to come. Section 8. Hitting rock bottom, a wake-up call. My self-help wake-up call came in the form of a complete breakdown. It was a moment that shattered the facade I had been maintaining for so long. The tears, the anguish, the overwhelming sense of failure, it all came crashing down on me. Years of suppressing my emotions, ignoring my needs, and chasing an elusive ideal had taken their toll. I had been running on empty, trying to meet impossible standards, and it was finally catching up with me. I was physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted. Every part of me felt drained, as if I had been carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. It was in that moment of utter despair that I finally realized the extent of the damage I had inflicted upon myself. I saw the reflection of a person who had lost touch with her own needs and desires. Hitting rock bottom was the most painful, yet liberating experience of my life. It was a paradoxical moment where pain and relief coexisted, giving me a strange sense of clarity. It forced me to confront the harsh reality that the self-help path I had been on was not leading to happiness, but to self-destruction. The books, the vision boards, the motivational posters, they all felt like empty promises. It was time to let go of the illusion of control, to shed the weight of unrealistic expectations, and to embrace the messy, imperfect beauty of my true self. I began to understand that true healing starts with self-acceptance and compassion. Section 9. Unlearning the toxic lessons. Breaking free from the clutches of toxic self-help was a long and arduous process. It required me to unlearn years of ingrained beliefs and rewire my thought patterns. I had to let go of the need for external validation, the constant striving for perfection, and the illusion of control. I started by questioning everything I had learned. I sought out alternative perspectives, explored different philosophies, and turned to evidence-based practices like therapy and mindfulness. Slowly but surely, I began to dismantle the harmful beliefs that had held me captive for so long. Section 10. Finding peace in acceptance and authenticity. The most profound realization on my journey beyond self-help was the power of acceptance. Accepting myself, flaws and all, was the key to unlocking true peace and contentment. It meant embracing my imperfections, forgiving my mistakes, and celebrating my unique strengths. Instead of striving to become someone I thought I should be, I started focusing on nurturing the person I already was. I reconnected with my passions, embraced my quirks, and allowed myself to simply be, without judgment or self-criticism. It was in those moments of radical self-acceptance that I finally felt a sense of wholeness and inner peace that no self-help guru could ever provide. Section 11. Beyond self-help, embracing my true self. My journey from self-help junkie to self-acceptance advocate has been transformative. It taught me that true happiness doesn't come from chasing an idealized version of ourselves, but from embracing the messy, imperfect beauty of who we truly are. It's about letting go of the need for external validation and finding contentment from within. While self-help can offer valuable insights and tools for personal growth, it's crucial to approach it with a discerning eye. The pursuit of self-improvement should never come at the expense of self-acceptance. True empowerment lies in embracing our authentic selves, flaws and all, and finding peace in the present moment.